Alright, yo, what's going on, everybody? Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about Boruto episode 12, titled Boruto and Mitsuki, and I thought this was going to be a lot more of a, I thought it was going to be an episode about Boruto and Mitsuki, like the title implies, but no, it's actually a lot more Mitsuki-focused than it is Boruto-focused, and the episode was another character-focused episode, another sort of slice-of-life episode where we see some stuff happen around the village, we see some stuff happen with the kids, but nothing really progresses the story forward that much, and because next week's episode looks like it's finally gonna kick the plot into gear, you know, I don't really have that much to say about this one. So basically, it starts out with the kids doing this training exercise, and you know, they're working in like 3-man cells going through this obstacle course, and then Boruto, Mitsuki, and Denki end up being the main focus, and like they're going through, and then Denki can't make it through because he's not one of the main characters. He's not a top tier like Boruto or Mitsuki. So they end up like talking away all of the time they have to get through this practice course. And while the point was supposed to be that, you know, they were trying to help Denki and that's why they lost all of their time, it was definitely because they were talking. Like, they talked for way... if you watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I was just sitting there like, what are you doing? What is this? So after that, Shino's just like, yeah, everybody, y'all fail. Konohamaru, Shino, and this chick, I forget her name. I know I'm like the Naruto professor, but this is easily one of the least memorable characters in the whole series. So forgive me for not remembering what her name is. I know she was one of Konohamaru's buddies, along with the kid with the glasses who constantly snorted. But I mean, like, I do not remember who she is, like, at all. But yeah, she was there along with Konohamaru and Shino, like I said, giving the kids a lecture, being like, you know, teamwork's really important. Everybody fails because unless all 3 of you make it through the obstacle course, you know, you might as well just consider it as nobody made it. You cannot abandon your comrades on a mission. Yeah, that whole type deal, harping on about teamwork and its importance and all that. After this, Mitsuki just like kind of talks to other people about Boruto. He's like, why do you think people like Boruto so much? He also talks to Shikadai just about, I don't know, do you know why I helped Denki out there? Shouldn't I have just gone to the end? And I don't know why he asked that question, because like it was made very clear to him just a couple seconds ago that if he would have done that, he would have failed the little practice test. But regardless, yeah, he's just like, should I have just left Denki behind and proceeded onward? And Shikadai's like, I don't know, maybe Boruto just got to you. And then Mitsuki talks to Inojin, and it's sort of like the same thing. He's just like, why do people like Boruto so much? And Inojin's just like, I guess he's a troublemaker. He's really likable. I don't really know what else to tell you. He's just dumb. Then the Jonin, same Jonin I mentioned earlier, Konohamaru, this chick, and Shino, yeah, they're all gathered up and they're talking about what they think of the current class, the class of year, whatever year it is, Boruto and all of the students that he studies with, and they're all like, yeah, they look really promising this year. They could all become really strong shinobi, and that's because, like, all of the kids in this series are set up to be overpowered. You know, Inojin with the Yamanaka mind transfer and Sai's ability to use ink and whatever. You know, Lee with his god-level taijutsu and his skill with ninja weapons, all that sort of stuff. You know, by the way, I don't think I've mentioned this in any of my episode reviews before now, but, like, what is with, like, this generation of kids being the only group, like, of all time to combine the skills used by both of their parents? Because, like, I get Ino has mind transfer jutsu because she's a Yamanaka, right? Shikamaru had shadow possession because he's a Nara. You know, those are their Hiden techniques. But, like, what about Ino's mom? Surely she was capable of doing something other than mind transfer. Like, this cannot be the only case of people marrying, like, cross-clan and giving their kids different, like, it's just really weird. I feel like it's a huge narrative oversight, but maybe that's just me. Anyways, you know, all the kids are OP except for the nameless ones, the obvious side characters like the class rep and whatever. Speaking of, after this scene, well, actually, okay, not directly after this scene. There's actually kind of this, like, one scene before the one that I have in my head where, I mean, like, I don't really get what the point of it is. Boruto, Shikadai, and Mitsuki are just hanging out, and Iwabe is there, and he's all like, man, I don't know how to fucking do math. And Boruto's like, oh, this is how you do math. Yeah, that happens. But no, the scene that I was initially talking about was there's a scene where Mitsuki goes to the hospital hospital, and he goes and checks up on the class rep, and he mentions the fact that earlier when he was speaking to Inojin was like, yeah, the class rep is probably stressed out, like, to no end because of all of Boruto's shenanigans, and I don't blame him, but Sumire replies to Mitsuki when he asks her about this. She's like, oh, no, of course not. I love being around Boruto, and I don't know if she was being honest or not, but it's also revealed that she and Mitsuki are similar in the sense that neither of them have family, though her reasons are obviously different. She's not like an artificial human created by some weird snake scientist man. Sumire's parents just got killed. Her father was a shinobi, and she doesn't really go into detail about her mother, but like I guess both of them got killed for some reason. I initially imagined that her father got killed on the battlefield, but then like what happened to her mom? Did somebody come assassinate her mom for absolutely no reason? If that's the case, why is she still alive? I guess it's not important. I mean, she's not a character in the movie or even in the manga, so like I guess like she doesn't have that much importance to the overall story, but still I don't get it. I don't get why she would clarify that her father is a ninja if she's not going to explain what happened to her mom, but whatever, that's beside the point. Anyways, they have this cool little heart-to-heart, and it's made pretty apparent that Mitsuki has zero social skills, which makes sense considering he could still very well be like a newborn baby, because he came out of that tube looking like an 11-year-old or a 12-year-old, so if that's the case, he might actually just be like a few months old or a few weeks old. But anyways, the point of the scene was like obviously just to establish the type of person that Mitsuki is. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the writers just wanted him to talk to Sumire or something. Important scene after this. This is kind of the only scene that I like really remembered, or that I really took away from the episode. After this, Boruto takes Mitsuki home, and he's like, yeah, you can spend the night, and Hinata and Himawari are both super welcoming to him. It turns out Hinata made this huge dinner, and Boruto was like, man, you don't have to do that, it's just a friend over, it's no big deal. And Hinata actually explains, she's like, well, not only do you have a friend over, but your dad's actually coming home. And Boruto, I mean, he acts like Boruto, you know, what do you expect? He's just like, oh, well, I guess I'll have to put up with that then. I mean, it's subtle, but it's still pretty clear that he does like Naruto. He just wants him to be around more often. And though he tries to act like he doesn't even enjoy having his dad around, he doesn't like his dad's company, it's pretty clear that that's not the case. So Naruto comes home, and Boruto does give him the cold shoulder, but it's obvious that he is actually really happy that his dad's around. But unfortunately, as soon as everybody starts eating, one of Naruto's shadow clones, which he left behind in the Hokage office, ends up having a conversation with Shikamaru, and he's like, yeah, so you know that chakra that kept popping up in all of the rampages? Well, we've kind of got a visual on a pretty big source of one, and it's nearby, so now you take it easy, stay home with your family. I just thought I'd give you the news. And Naruto obviously wasn't having any of that. He was like, whoa, no. Let me come take care of this. This is obviously a big deal. And then, you know, he disperses his shadow clone. He gains the knowledge of it, like, you know, was explained earlier on in the series. And he's like, yeah, all right, sorry, guys, I have to go. And Boruto just, like, flips out. He's like, no, come on, I am so sick of this. Why do you have to go? Why can't somebody else do it? And Naruto gives Boruto the same explanation he has been every time something like this happens. He's like, I have to protect the village. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. Like, it's my job. I'm the Hokage. I don't know why you're getting mad. Boruto storms out. Mitsuki follows after him. And, I mean, I guess all of that nice-looking food that Hinata made is going to waste, because she and Himawari are the only people left, despite the fact that she made dinner for 5 people, but whatever, I guess. So Mitsuki chases after him. Boruto's like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. Hinata and Himawari are visibly sad, and I guess Naruto goes and moves out so he can go take care of whatever problem it was Shikamaru told him was there. And then Boruto and Mitsuki have this conversation, and Mitsuki's like, so you hate the Hokage? And Boruto's like, yeah, man, fuck the Hokage. Worst person ever. I hate him so much. I wish my dad was, you know, the same rhetoric that he keeps spitting out about Naruto every time he gets mad at him for something like this. And they have another back and forth about it, and then Mitsuki's just like, so you know, I know who's behind the ghost incident, right? And then the episode just ends right there. It was actually a pretty cool way to end. You know, Mitsuki says that, Boruto just gives him a look, and then it cuts to the credits. It actually took way longer to summarize the episode than I thought it would. But okay, so animation, like last week, it was a little bit stiff, but I'm not gonna keep complaining about it. It was fine, I guess. It was serviceable, but it could have looked nicer. It was a little bit distracting because it's not as fluid as it could be, and they did use some pretty like obvious budget cut tricks, like having shots on still frames of characters' faces while other characters are talking and that sort of stuff, and it like really stuck out at certain points. But it wasn't too bad. Like, it wasn't terrible. It was just like, come on, Studio Period, you guys animated Bleach, you can do better than this. But you know, whatever. Use of music was all right. There was a pretty cool addition to the soundtrack that I don't think I've heard before pretty early on in the episode. I don't know if it was placed the best, but I mean, the music is still fine. The writing was fine. But like, we're on episode 12 now, and it wasn't the same like ghost incident plot that we got for a majority of the past 11 episodes. But it's just like, I think we need to actually move on to the plot. So I'm getting a little bit tired of how the episodes are being handled, but for what it was, this was fine. It was written well, directed well, all the sort of compliments that I've given all the other episodes apply to this one as well. But thankfully, next week we're gonna be getting something that's like actually really good. You know, story's finally gonna begin, which is good. So if you haven't watched any of the episodes yet, I'd say go ahead and tune in next week, though you might be a little bit lost, because while these episodes might be a little bit boring to sit through all back to back, they do a pretty solid job of giving the series a foundation and establishing who the characters are, what they're like, what their motivations are, so on and so forth. So I give the episode like a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5. You know, pretty solid stuff, but I'm much more excited for next week's episode, and that's kind of what I took away from this one, so you know, take that as you will. Anyways, that's gonna be all from me today. Leave your thoughts about the episode in the comments below, of course, and until my next video, I'll talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.